Yeah, fair. Well, what did I do last week? I thought about that, my house is all blue.
Yeah, it is bright.
Yeah, guys, is anyone on there? Just let us know if you can hear us, please. Yeah, 6 on. Yeah, 2 thumbs up. Who's on? Let's know.
Simon Law's kind of, yeah.
Simon Law. Hello, mate. Good lad, Joe. Everyone's got you loads of work to do.
And they're getting more by the day, so you want to.
Yeah, so you need to get your finger out, she said. You just have that with him. Good lad, Sam.
I'm not, he's got loads of jobs.
Yeah.
Right, loads of them.
I can't do it out my hands knackered, Sam. You know that, mate. I'll help you. When your goes on yours, just phone me, I'll come down and sort it out.
It's the same operation.
Simon.
Fusion is pretty much similar to yours.
No, can't do nothing without him. Yeah, copycat. Yeah, you bad neck, all of you, Kev.
Yeah,
everyone seems to be the bad neck week.
I've been, man started up with a car accident that I was in,
yeah.
But I went driving. I was telling the lad how to do a bit of driving to get out of it, which we did.
Yeah.
We'd have been killed, and it was not long after that where I started getting massive head pains.
Oh, it's horrible.
Dizziness, off balance, but yours is obviously...
I've been going to the doctors for 15 years. He's been telling me it's carpal tunnel. So I'm misdiagnosed for 15 years. I went to a chiropractor. I might as well tell the folks. Right, we're on the show. It's me, Brian Cockrell, on the Taxman Show. We all do it raw. We have a talk. Wherever the dog comes in, we're not bothered. Kevin has a drink. Emma has a drink. Whatever. We do it raw. As if we are at home. Welcome everyone to the show. Kevin back again. Yeah, everybody loves Kevin. Thanks. Yeah, thanks for everyone. Last week who donated on the pound sign was, I think, the dollar sign. We've got a new light. You can't see it, but it's in the background with the money for the fund. We've got another.
We've got a webcam
as well.
And a microphone that we're going to thingy, but we're going to save up with anyone that's donated with bank transfers and anyone that's hit the dollar sign on chat. We're saving up to get a camera to go different places.
Events outside because
so we can take with us.
The other one is good. The camera we've got, but we can't take to events. So yeah, getting back on the show. So. Yeah, horrible municipal day.
Yeah,
Kevin.
Really bad. Again, Brian, thanks to everyone who's at the dollar sign and
brilliant.
Donated for a really good cause.
It's called Super Chat.
And Baz, thanks very much for the camera things sorting out
and also thanks for Brian for adding my great friend Anne Rafter.
Thank you. Thanks,
lovely girl. She's nobody's fool. She's an intelligent girl. She's that intelligent. She never ever got married.
And Ian, isn't it?
Yeah, she's a great girl. Lovely girl.
Ian Puddock. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ian. Lovely guy. We're going to have him on the show. Another guy, a really good person. But yeah, it's been great. This week we've had nearly 1,500 new subscribers. Through the roof. We've had I think it's 140,000 people now. It's just flying. All the new subscribers, but keep getting people to subscribe, guys. We're helping lots of people out there with mental health. We had Steve Norton the other week. We've got Gary Taz, Carol coming on next Friday again. The lad who's the real life Rambo. Your Brian, really good guy. He's coming back on. We've got Joe Egan coming on soon. We've got Chris Lambriano, we're going to be getting on.
That'd be great,
Tony Turner, are coming on. I talked to Tony the other day, really good guy. We're getting Alex Durant, he's going to come on. We've got Glenn Durant, the darts player, coming on as well. We've got Phil Taylor, the darts world champion. He wants to come on. I showed you the other day.
I mean, Glenn's great, he's world class now, Glenn. Yeah. Right up there with the top.
Out of the blue, we sat there and he phoned Emma on the Facebook. He says, Brian there. He said, it's Glenn Durant. And he said, world champion, Dad. Oh, brilliant, mate. He said, do you remember a man called Phil Taylor? I went, I said, I watched him all the time when I was younger. I said, brilliant. He said, well, he's just watched your documentary. You think, what you're doing is helping kids and people. I said, you're pulling me like. He said, no, I'm going to. So I sent the message to say, tell I think he's the best dart player ever. No one will ever beat his record. Never beat it. She said, all of a sudden, out the blue, boom, Phil Taylor. I showed it on my thing. He had his glasses upside down, everything like that.
He's just great, you know. He's the greatest darts player in person.
You know, if he wasn't, if he would have been
and hopefully Glenn will be up there shortly, and he is now.
Yeah, if he'd have been a footballer or a racing driver, he'd been the one personality of the world.
He'd have been the Pelly of,
you know, exactly.
The Muhammad Ali, you know, the greatest.
How he done it all them years is brilliant. Yeah, but people like that are coming on. We've got barristers coming on from America. We've got loads of other people coming on from London.
And there's also quite a few local pieces.
We've got Son for start coming
Rich is going to be coming on. Another one who was wanting to come on and tell some great stories, maybe after the operation gets done by, is Keeler Bradshaw. But I won't tell you what, but he's got a really good story to tell about you,
right?
Which you will have forgot about, and it's funny yourself.
Forget now.
Funny,
when he tells me,
if you watch him, Keeler, I'll keep it quiet about what you're going to say about him.
Right.
Really, and he's got some great stories to tell about Stockton and the times. And
remember the Elvis week we had? That was funny. Also
this week, Brian, as well. Another thing I was going to mention. I don't know whether we can mention it or how to. A couple of things that's happened in the area. You look at the carry on at the school yesterday with different things. One there, and you know, some lads are going to go to jail over it, aren't they? You know, and
we were just saying the other week, I was just speaking to Emma and yourself. What's going to happen now? All them ones have been staying in, not getting out. You said this about me on the internet, and you said this, so they're all going to start clashing. And it's happening now already. Just knife fights in schools. Yeah. It's ridiculous, isn't it?
There was another video on as well. Two young lads. I don't know whether it was in Birmingham. Two white lads, and one had a machete, caught the other one there, and the other one caught him. But as much as they're causing injuries, to say they've got these weapons and they're swinging them, I'm not being funny, obviously you don't want anyone to get injured. Some of them are just weak, feeble idiots.
Yeah, just
imagine if they're coming out across you with a mask of Zorro or Peeler Bradshaw or even Buster. But no, honestly, they're using these weapons and they're going to go to jail for a
anything above the waist. You hit somebody in the shoulder with a weapon, it's attempted murder.
Yeah.
Anything above the waist, if you I'm not telling you anyway, but anything above the waist, you used to have somebody in the shoulder, the chest, the stomach, and then it's attempted murder.
And even though them lads are going out, and the main thing they're doing it was intent to scare them, especially these crack dealers.
Trying to be.
But they don't know, one swing the wrong way, dead.
Yeah, and then you're going to jail for life, 25 years.
Jail for life, you know.
And then you won't be clever then when you're sitting in there, absolutely devastated.
You know, it's mad. Yeah, going back to prison, Bri, what was this? Did you see any sad cases in there where there's certain people who I did once or twice where obviously you see some nut cases in there, but some people who were maybe, I don't know whether it be a mummy's boy or they're missing the wife or whatever, and they're really totally.
Yeah, there was a kid from Darlington, nice kid, and his dad died when he was in there, and he was only about 21, 22. His head was gone. I was the only one who could talk to him on the wing, and I said to school, "But I sit in the pub and they let us go in."
Yeah.
And just said, "Look, your dad wouldn't need to be like this," and I got him through it. And good kid from Darlington, I won't mention his name, but then I seen a couple of black lads went in when I was in there. Abrick can't stand bullies. We were stood at the phone box. You had to stand at the phone wait. Another two kids come push them out of the way and get blacklisted. I said, "You leave them alone, yo." Two twins there were. Yeah. And I went, "Oh, thanks very much, Brian. Thanks for that, thank you. You can go before the son." I said, "I'm just another prisoner. I'll wait my turn in the queue." And they couldn't believe it. So I go in and said, "Who's on the pro team?" So I do want the queue. I said, "No, put my name up." Never push in on a nothing. Always be polite to people that cost nothing for manners. And that's what's lacking. We were on the shop the other week. We had a really little cheeky boy calling us names and calling the women in Tesco's names and the staff in there, and really rude to them. And they're about 17, 18-year-olds. Absolutely disgusting. The girl was in tears talking to my wife. She's only, whatever, a young lass or something. They didn't even come out and get in the car because they're petrified. Now, Tesco should be ashamed of themselves because you get £1 in every 5 spent in this country, and you should be putting security around there for them because there's people in there, including my wife, seen it, and loads of other people saying, "What are you doing? You're saying, come into the shop, you're safe," but they're not safe because people are out there threatening them. So there should be something done about it.
Many people, even people who are able to look after themselves, doing sometimes like walking into a shop when there's a queue of people.
Well, there's 20, 30
how ignorant are some of them stood there with the bikes and not giving a shit who's walking.
Well, they're going up and down on them daft scooter things. They're riding up and down. There's all people walking. And what's going to happen to Tesco? I'm not calling Tesco's. I was talking to the manager, the right lovely man. I said, the thing is, what's going to happen? People are going to be frightened to go shopping.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're frightened to go and you'll end up losing money.
It's the people at the top, and some of the kids now are really
disgraceful.
You know, when we were kids, even though we were little villains, we wouldn't do that. Everyone who went in there, we'd move out the way. We'd say to each other, move out the way, he's Mrs. So-and-so.
Yeah, exactly right.
You never wanted to intimidate anybody.
No. And you go, Mrs. Jenkins, you want to I'll chop you down back to the house and the shop. And you'd just say, you wouldn't see the woman, 70-year-old struggling. You say, I'll carry the bags for you, Mrs. Jenkins. Open the gate, open the door, and let them all.
It's wrong, innit? And it stops people going out, you know. And they tend to congregate around shops, don't they? And areas.
I'm not calling the kids. I'm just saying, not saying all the kids.
Not all the kids.
I'm just saying, but like the ones who are doing it, just think, would you like your mother and father to be spoke like to that, or your nana, or your granddad?
I know.
Yeah, just
no,
tone
I don't
it down.
like it neither, you know. And they know they can get away with it. If they say to a lad who's a bit of a lad, they know they're not going to get it back because they'll get away with it, you know. They'll charge the lad, you know, put him for compensation, stuff like that.
Right,
you know.
It's just one of the things. I mean, we were kids. You get on the bus and you see a woman pregnant, you stand up for her and let her sit down on the bus, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Or somebody old. So you can say, somebody in the 60s or whatever. Oh, thought they're all getting old. Terry didn't go. That's 64 today.
Who is Terry?
Terry, yeah, 64. I forgot what pub you're in, but he wants to treble Bacardi. He said a single, but I said treble. If you see him, get by him a drink. Tell him a lump of it.
Terry Dicko, will you still need me? Will you still feed me when I'm 64?
And get round here, Emma said. Get this garden finished. And we're going to strangle you.
It's a great song, that, Terry, when I'm 64. Well, actually, I'm not far behind you. I'm 64 in December.
I'm saying nothing till I see Moon Bannister.
Another thing I was going to get on to, Brian, the listeners will probably want to know, obviously, you're due to go into the operation shortly, and I can see myself, you're struggling badly and in horrendous pain, but without really taking painkillers, aren't you? You know,
no, I'm not taking out. They said to me, if you don't have it done 6 months ago, the next 6 to 9 months, you're going to be in a wheelchair. So with the COVID, I've got a bit panicky, so they've got me in the next few weeks. Being just the one day coming out, but she'll be safe. She's got Bronson here, the dog, and Scrappy. You know what I mean? Emma's safe. She's got 2 big dogs. So I've just been diagnosed all these years. Misdiagnosed was all different. But you've got carpal tunnel, you've got this, and all it is I've got 5 vertebrae crushed, C3 to C7 are all going to be, the back of them, they're all going to be taken off. And what they're going to do is your spinal cord goes through. It's called the laminopty operation, because the back of the thing's called the laminopteny, which is the bone. So they're going to chisel that out, because what it's done is that's where it goes in. So it's loose like that, your spinal cord, like that. But what's happened is it's tightened in like that now. So it's 5 mil your spinal cord, and it's crushed into 1 mil. So it'll let everything, and I'd be paralysed from the neck down. So thank God he's stepped in and did the operation.
Through the front,
they usually go through the front, Kevin, but what they do is they go through the back, and it's really painful, because they cut obviously the back of a 7-inch. I think it's 4 to 7 inch. Well, it's obviously 5 vertebrae is going to be taken. Not taking them out, and what they do is they drill them out, and they take all the bone out, which compressing it, and they fix these like a plastic coat, like plastic, right? Some type of resin.
That sounds like a suspension.
That goes over, and then they've got like 2 bars that go in the back of your neck, and then they take a bone graft out of your hip and put the bone grafts like cement. Everything, the analogy to that. And that movement, you've got to stay still when you for 4 weeks, so you can't go look up and down.
Have a neck brace on then.
You have to have a neck brace on, So 2 to 4 weeks should be on. I should be back. Not training probably about 5 kilo dumbbells. When people go, he's only lifting this, I'm only doing that because I can't lift on, because my neck's killing me, that's why. And I'm still coming on to help you. And you get some of these horrible so-and-sos going, he's only lifting 10 kg there. Oh, that's good lift, that. But if you look back at my other videos, when I was like 20 years ago, I was doing 700-800 pound squats and 600 pound benches. So I'm still going on to show how to use it. I was cheating a little bit on it. I thought, it's killing me as I'm doing it. My neck is paining me. But I get up every day, and I still help people every day.
Brave, it's courageous, and one of the bravest things that I actually seen or read about was someone famous who had like a freak accident, and it was Christopher Reeve's Superman.
Oh yeah, I loved him.
Fell off the horse. I liked him. He was really good, you know.
Brilliant.
But even though he was literally paralysed totally from the neck downwards, and he couldn't even move his diaphragm to breathe properly, he allowed them to do so many tests on him.
Yeah.
And eventually died, but the willpower he had
brilliant
to keep alert, he really was a Superman. Besides,
he really was.
Superman didn't tell lies. By the way, I don't tell lies, but I'm not Superman. But
absolutely, it's upstairs.
But yeah, he was great. You know what I mean? He showed him going underwater and with a smirk on his face and all that. I was really mad about that. You know, but going back to the hospitals and that.
Yeah.
You were saying the doctor took you so long to refer you. I think it's the referrals with the National Health doctors that are the problem. Once you're in the hospital and you're getting these tests of the great experts and the specialists and the nurses, and you're getting diagnosed, but it's that referral.
I think it's the people who actually run it, like the managers and things, that it's penny pinching as well. But with this COVID on that was precedent because you couldn't get in the hospital, so I'd have had it done. It should have been done, but when they said I've got to go in the morning at 7 o'clock, and I'll be getting up with it done within an hour or so. But I've got to go 3 days before to get a COVID test. I've already had the COVID swab, sound of that, so I've got to get that done. But Tony Green said it's supposed to be really painful. He got it done. Then he thought, I said, can I have another go? Can I have another go? I said, if he can do it, I can do it. Being a little kid.
The other thing about going on about COVID, we obviously know it exists. But I think there's a lot of referrals that should have went ahead for the likes of heart disease, strokes, cancer.
Definitely cancer,
They've been put on the back burner and not being able to go to the hospital to get these tests. And some of them, quite a lot of them have died or in advanced stages of cancer. And then they blame it on COVID, but the top and bottom of it, the survival rate of it, and it should be a reassurance to people, it's 99.9%. You know, and at the end of the day, we know it's bad, but it is a flu virus.
That's what it is.
And there's lots of them. I mean, I've had COVID, and I've also had flu a number of times. Not a lot, a number of times.
Thousands of flus,
and to me, the flu was much worse than the COVID was. But I'll tell you what was the worst one to me altogether out of these viruses.
Swine flu.
Swine flu.
Yeah, swine flu.
I had that.
The right pig on it.
I'll tell you what, I felt very just ill with it, as if you were going to die. But I'll tell you another thing. I'm surprised the government haven't got on to this. And Boris Johnson might. Boris Johnson might, if he hears this. You know where I'm like into medicine and all that, like you. They give me, you phone up and say, I've got this symptom, that symptom. They say, there's a chemist, go to them and get this medication for swine flu. And they called it Tamiflu. Tamiflu.
Right.
I took a tablet. I took another one. After the second tablet, I started to feel better. Tamiflu is a wonder drug for swine flu, and you can buy it over the counter abroad.
Them pigs are no good though. They all squeal on you.
But they can't fly, can they? You know?
They kind of throw an airplane. There's all sorts of different things out there, but you can't live in fear. Every day thinking you've got the swine flu and getting up, and you just make yourself more ill thinking about, can I get this? What if this? What if that? And what if this? And what if that? And what, you can go on forever, can you? You just. I
have seen quite, and I feel sorry for some of them. I've seen a few elderly men and women. Well, even today, one was sat on the bench outside the churchyard at the parish church at Stockton. And he bloke, and he was walking, staggering, out of breath. He had his mask on, and he was breathing. And I said, "Are you all right, mate?" He took his mask off, and it's not funny, but you have that. He couldn't breathe. He said, "I am now. I've took the mask off." He said, "I'm choking for a fag and lit a fag up." You know, and then you see people driving about in a car, nobody in, and the mask on. Some people are going to be, and Steve Norton will probably verify this, are going to be having phobias and
going to bed
By the
on,
way,
probably
yeah.
sleeping with her husband with it on in bed.
Yeah. Mind you, there's a few low lifes I'd like to put the mask on with a bit of chloroform in before they go to bed.
Yeah. There's quite a few of them in as well.
Emma's laughing there. I think she knows a few people as well. You know. Thanks for the gin, Emma. It's
the-
only one, by the way.
They've got gin. They're on the gin here, so
You
watch
can have
it.
one more.
Watch it, because
I'm not driving, by the way.
Emma can be violent on gin.
Well, very violent. She's been known to knock everything all over here, you know. Wrestling, and she's
got a great right, straight right hand.
Yeah,
She's got your teeth cleaned on your throat.
Yeah.
Have a mind on.
So anyone who's opening the
I think
pubs
there's
on
one here.
Monday, don't
When his
let
teeth
them
on his throat.
What's the teeth knocking down?
Oh yeah. Oh, we know that. It's a lunatic.
She said, "Are you single, Brian?" Margaret, somebody watch your star sign. I said, "Are you Shirley?"
Yeah.
Oh, someone's asking Brian, is he single?
Well, no, it's the lunatic from up the road.
Yeah.
Absolute lunatic.
Well,
she is.
If for the rest of his life, he would be if she was about.
No,
You know what I mean?
single.
She's put just winding you up.
Yeah.
Also, it might not be, might it? You know, you might have a few admirers, Brian, you know.
Gary said, "Are we on the G&T?" I said, "We're on peak gin, aren't we?"
I'm on nothing.
Yeah,
Peak
just
gin and
a
tonic,
tiny
yeah.
bit. You
I'm
know,
on
just
nothing. I haven't got a glass of water. That's how much I'm
I'm
trying
going
this
to go
house.
get mine out the living room.
Yeah. Well, bad glass of water. Get me a lemonade, please.
I was going to go on about.
Hey, Kevin, when is your pub opening? People asking me.
Well, this is the.
We need
answer.
to know this because we need to do a podcast.
This is the answer. It's not my pub, but I'm the brains behind it and the advisor, and hopefully Jack and Luke, and hopefully it's going to be a really good community pub.
Yeah.
One thing we do
It's a good place and all of it.
It is we like normal people in, but we don't want anyone in who's going to intimidate other people, older customers. But if people come in, if people come in and they enjoy themselves and they treat the staff and us right, we'll treat them a million times better and make it the best experience they've had, and we look after them, you know.
We want to start doing that. That's why we're going to get a GoPro, because we're going to start going and doing that.
But I think
who's this in the corner? Can you see him? Can you see him in the corner? Mr. Dodo.
Yeah.
I can't get him on there. I see him. There he is.
So Thursday will be open, and I think most of the pubs are open Monday, so I'll be going.
Is that when they all open Monday?
I'll be going around a couple. No, it's a bit of communication with me. I'll see how Lesmo and a few of the others. Sadly, there's a couple of the lads who have passed away since we were on lockdown. You know, a few of them are the older people. But yeah, good luck to all the people who are opening, especially Carlo opening the Dolphin. You know, Carlo, well done, you.
Yeah, Carlo,
great lad.
Yeah.
You know, him and there's quite a few of the others who are opening the pubs up, and they hope to do really well.
Yeah.
Don LaRoche.
Oh, Don's a great bloke.
We're not in competition.
We had the Heaven Club meeting Don. Club. And we went in for a week. We've done it out, you know. Obviously, we've got the college shirts to paint on, everything, parachute props, everything. Spent about 15 grand. It was a lot of money 30 years ago.
That was on the same road
as the Eclipse was, yeah.
So literally,
used to be
you got that shit
Parker's or something, yeah. And then I opened the other one.
But then you moved.
And then I taxed the other one, didn't I? The Coliseum, I taxed that.
It actually used to be called Porter's before.
Porter's, that's it. It used to have a cafe that says
Isaac. And I worked on the door the odd occasion for him, because Javid allowed me to Gregory. And they called it Porter's, but prior to that, when Isaac had it, they called it Top Cappy.
Oh, I never heard that. I knew it was a cafe.
And upstairs, you had a restaurant, food, wine bar, and a lab.
What we had, we had at the very top, we had it as the Mad Raves, you know, that hardcore one. And we had the old yellow and white and old yellow and things like warning signs and sirens and all that. The second floor was, we had the Heaven Club, it was called. So you went in, it was like hell downstairs. So you went down, there was gargoyles on the wall, big red devils.
Heaven and
the flashing, that was all that. And then upstairs, it was, the dance floor was silver, like metal. Right. And we had all the clouds with the angels on the walls and things. So you just heaven and hell, you know what I mean? So you go up one and come down. It was really good. But the place.
It's a lower ceiling, isn't it? It's not like.
And it was like One Night in Heaven that we used to play that at the end of the night. And we never made any money off it because the police camped outside every day just to stop people going in. But elder people had their clubs, they could open there and do what they wanted, but I got a hard time.
So was the Evan, was that before the Coliseum days?
Just when I taxed the Coliseum, allegedly, it got shut down, and then I opened the Heaven Club, and then they opened theirs back up because I got nicked for allegedly Shooting there, yeah, but nothing to do with me again. Always blame me for shootings.
Yeah, they did actually. Actually, going back to a song, Eric Clapton said you shot the sheriff and the deputy.
Oh, thanks very much.
Yeah, and the deputy.
The police on the front. Well, we've had the police out already from the lunatic from Stokesley sending the police here. From me doing the COVID, it just they sat there 40 minutes, went doing great, guys, brilliant, because grassing again, the grassogram.
Well, actually, the two policemen who they were, said, I know your face from somewhere, and they said, oh, I said to the family have a pub and went out and said, oh, we've come round, so you've got us a couple of good customers, and, you know.
You're never away from Stokesley Police Station. Down there every single day trying to grass us up for something else. Well, oh, they've done this to me, oh, they've said this about me, oh, look at this on the internet, oh, he said this about Paddy Connery, oh, he said this about him, he said this about that. The body
give me a lucky look. I'm sure he was giving me a lucky look.
Hooper has just sent you £20, I think, yeah.
No, Alan offers.
Hopper. Is it Hopper? Alan, thank you very much, mate.
Oh, good.
That's lovely.
Thank you, mate.
Chrissy Buick, kickboxer from Sunderland.
Shout any relation to Ernie?
Said everyone that respects you, so can you shout hello to him?
Hello there, mate. And again, in relation to Ernie Buick, because he's a brilliant lad, Ernie, he's my pal.
And there's some great people there.
People ask me who's the best fighter you've ever known, and Ernie Buick. Not Lee Duffy, not Viv Graham, not all the other ones, you know. Anyway, he's the best I've ever known for Ernie.
Some people are classed as fighters, someone who's clocked someone and knocked them out.
Fantastic, Ernie.
But, you know, when he actually toe-to-toe in a fight or ground to ground, you know, I mean...
fought some monsters in Newcastle, beat them off. Only one who beat Viv Graham 1-1. Went to fight for Viv again. Sorry, went to fight Viv Graham again when he had to fight with Big Billy. He won the fight, they shook hands and all sorts, but then he hit him on the slide and he went back to have a fight and he went on his own.
And he didn't have to on your own. He was a bit of a loner as well. Not loner, but he was like go anywhere on his own.
Me and him met at the Coliseum. Yeah. People try to get us into my fight and all this crap, saying things to me, you know, making things up, but I got it all mixed up. And he said no, I'd said no. As soon as I met him, I went, I get Ernie, hey mate, give him a cuddle. Brilliant man. We used to go in the Coliseum and we'd have great nights. I'd be off my head, bouncing a bottle full of ecstasy. And he never took a drug in his life, never sold a drug, never got involved in it. But he's a lovely, lovely man.
Be good to get him on the podcast, Bryce.
I wish I could. You know, he's got my number. But he's a lot of the lads come down and he always says, they always ask him who's the best fighter you know, and he always says me. So that's the respect we've known him for since them days. He's just a lovely man, and I think it was 92 I met Ernie. Never had an argument, fall out. Lovely man. Big Brian Lofton was his pal, big monster of a lad. Big Wayne up there, good lad. Bob Raw up there, all nice lads. We used to go to Sunderland and we used to go around the clubs with him. We've gotten a few scrapes a few times, but then he was always come on top. We always come on top. He was great lad. He wasn't one of them where you would like the Viv Graham one where you think, oh, keep away from him, he's going to get on the slide. He was never like that, Ernie, and he could have took a liberty with me anytime he wanted to because I was off my head loads of time. But I loved him, and I still love him now, and he loves me. Respect's been there from day one, it always will be. And if I had trouble, Ernie'd be the first one down here. I had trouble at the Coliseum, he was coming down with 50 lads on a 50-seater bus, 52. He's got some power up there, believe me. He run all them doors for them years on his own. He didn't have a firm, but he had them lads with him, you know, his own little crew and that, but he didn't do anything to do with crime whatsoever. But fantastic person.
It takes him doing that, especially when he would be capable of taking control of the crime if he wanted to.
Yeah, of course he could have. But the thing is, then he was just straight, proper old school. His best fighter he loved ever, Rocky Marciano. That was his favourite fighter, and that's how he copied his stamp off the way he come forward. And he doesn't tire. He just keeps coming at you, coming at you, coming at you, coming at. He doesn't tire. He's got one of them engines that just think, what's going on here? He must be tired. 10 minutes in, he's still going at you. Like Tim taught me. I was having fight for people and knocking them out in a couple of minutes. We saying, what if somebody comes on, it's going to be a 10 or 15 minute fight? And then I started learning to do 10-minute rounds on the back. And it was hard at first, but you can get through it. Legend of a man. People who don't know him, the younger lads all know him, but people who don't know him in the country, on his day, had a problem against anyone. He was super fit. Really good dig, really good chin, and a brilliant engine. And his heart like a lion. Lovely man. You loved Ernie, didn't you?
Yeah, I love it.
Another character, not on the fighting side of it, but I don't know whether you've seen him lately at all, is Buster. Have you seen that of him, Buster Atkinson?
I haven't seen Buster
Do
for
you
a
know
while.
Buster's first name? Do you know what his first name
John.
is? No,
Oh.
I think John Reginald.
Yeah, Christie.
Yeah,
John Reginald. But Christie is
yeah,
murder, wasn't he? At 10 Drillington Place.
Because
people think, what are they going on about? He was a murderer who killed, I think, 5, 6 women in there.
I've had some laughs with Buster.
Oh, he was funny.
I got to know him through John Black and John Howard.
Yeah.
And we were looking after
taxi driver.
A lad called Armadine. He was getting bits of problems, and John helped him out. And we're staying at Arma's house, or luxury house. It's probably worth $1 million or $2 million now.
Yeah.
Great. And we had any food we want, this, that, and the other.
Good lad.
And Buster would drive us about and that, you know, and or some of the time would. He had this Cortina, and he always used, obviously he was a lot younger then, this was 1984, and he only knew me a bit, but got to know me really well. He's driving about, doing messages. He said, I'll take you up my house at South Bank. And he's driving and screeching round, and, you know, driving not quite as good as he thought he was. Yeah. But thinking he was, you know, Dukes of Hazzard, but half decent. And just dead calmly, I said to him, you can drive, Buster, this car, can you? Just have the line with him. And he said to me, fucking drive. He said, I'll make this car fucking talk. Anyway, we started talking about pigeons. I said, I used to raise pigeons. He said, oh, my son has pigeons. I said, does he really? He said, yeah. He said, how are we going to my house? I'll introduce you to Dolly, his wife. Yeah, Dolly, South Bank. He said, and I'll show you the pigeons and, you know, all the rest of it. And I thought, oh, well, they haven't kept them for a while, so I'll have a look at them, see what they're like and that. So we come in the back way, in the back garden. Look at the back garden, I thought, can't see any pigeon loft here anywhere. He said, how are you in, Kev? How are you in, Kev? He said, hey, how are you upstairs? Have a look at this. Open on the bedroom door, and the bedroom door's the pigeon loft. Honest. Proper cages in it. And the window's open, and the landlord, he said, oh, it's just a spare bedroom, so we use it as a pigeon loft. Keep them warm and nice.
But he used to come when we worked at the called back cat, and it was called Henry Africa's, just in Northern, it was the Coliseum, and we used to work there. He used to come in, but he told me the story. He said Lee Duffy was about 16, I think, and he got out of jail. He said that he stayed at his. So he said, Dolly, Buster said, he said, how son you staying? So she phoned up and said, can you get this fucking Duffy out of my house? The party everywhere, they're all over the place, to this, that, and the other. So he tried me mad, and all the young lads are all on the end and all that stuff. And he was telling me the story. I said, lovely, Lee. He took Lee all over the place, you know, different places.
There was another story, I don't know how true it was. Lee's ex-partner, Bonnie Carroll.
Yeah.
She might know the story better than I do, but apparently Buster and I think it was Tommy Addison employed Lee just as he was getting up and coming, quite a long time before he met you, to go and fill someone in somewhere in London. And with someone else, and Buster was the driver, the getaway driver. And they pulled up at this street in London. Apparently Lee went in with another lad, give these lads a smack and come out to run out. And they'd give Buster so much petrol money, but he only put so much in, put the rest in his pocket. Rev the car, I've got 10 metres up the road and it ran out of petrol.
Sounds like Buster. He's funny. He gets all flustered when he tells you the story.
Yeah.
Him and Dolly are funny, John's a good lad, his son.
Yeah. But I haven't seen the other person who I had a lot of respect for. And he was like you, loved, and like me, loved his medicine, learn about nutrition. John Black.
John Black, brilliant.
John Black was the best person I know years ago when people got dressed up with that, no matter what, it was looked upon as untidy if you didn't have your shirt tucked in.
Yeah.
John Black was the first person that used to wear his shirts outside.
Yeah.
He always had them slightly hung over.
He was a strange old driver, wasn't he? He drove back from the waterfront a few times. I thought he was going to crash. Ryan Burns telling jokes.
Yeah, it's worst being Johnny Stubbs running about Las Vegas. The worst joke teller in history.
But you still look back to try and tell you the jokes.
I know.
You're laughing.
He's funny, John.
Brilliant bloke.
We used to have some laughs when we used to be at spending more on that with John.
Ryan Burns has donated $5.
Oh, cheers, Ryan. Thank you very much, Ryan.
Every little bit helps towards this equipment, $5s, $10s.
Sound like
really
little.
Good, no, it's nice when doing it because you're going to bet on the equipment, and obviously some of these podcasts you'll be going in. I don't know the laws, and some of them you might be able to video where you're talking to people who are in potential crime.
We've got some big people on.
I want to do one.
He's
if
he's big, Ian.
Yeah.
I tell you,
yeah.
the other day I was thinking, Brian, and if we
Nice
can,
guy.
I'd like to do one with maybe it's me, you, and Emma, and
Yeah.
we maybe bring Richard around, or whoever, maybe it's Bram as well.
Yeah.
To do a walk-in one and a video of some of the vulnerable, homeless, poor drug addicts, and I'm not saying they're all innocent, but there's some of them nice people, and some of them are bastards on Artington Road.
Yeah,
and have a chat to them about things of how they're doing, what they're doing. Why did they get into that?
Last week, didn't they? But I didn't know.
In fact, actually, it may go on better than that. We may know someone who will do a little bit of a half-hour television thing, because they've done one with Richard before.
Right.
So that someone will come and do it on you, where it goes on Northeast News.
Yeah. Well,
so we might be able to do something there, because it needs doing.
Yeah,
and to see someone like Bri, who's been down that road, someone like Richard, who's been that road, and you know, he still talks well now.
Gives them hope, doesn't it? But we've been invited on to Hartlepool, haven't we, to a homeless shelter on Tuesday to speak to the people in there, which we're going to be going over there. And we've been invited to go to Doncaster Prison. He's getting us in a few more. The fellow, and he's really good. The church is helping us with things as well. So everything's coming together. We've got places all over. We've got places in Stoke. We've got places in Hartlepool. We've got Dundee to place. We've got
you need to keep a proper diary.
Well, a lot of you just got the other day.
Frederick Kay said if this was on normal TV tonight, I guarantee it'd get millions of views. Love to you, Albert.
Well, that's nice, yeah. Well, the thing is, we're just trying to help people out there, making a bit of fun, telling the truth. You always get the idiots coming on trying to put you down.
You're not doing it for popularity, are you? Brian's not doing it to big himself up.
Well, I'm just saying to kids, don't try to follow what I did in the past. Follow me now in the footsteps of Jesus. As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil. I've been through that valley of the shadow of death, and I don't want to see anyone else go through that. I want you to keep going bang on education. It's the most important thing. Keep your mindset right and your body fit, and then get yourself an education. Because when you're educated, you can't get no take the piss out. When you haven't got education, your people can just walk all over you. So if somebody said to me, "Would you rather be the best fighter on the planet or the cleverest?" I'd rather be the cleverest. Because education is better than brawn.
And when you do get these setbacks, whether it's depression, anxiety, pain, illness, you know, keep going forward. Don't let it totally overtake you, man. You will have really bad days, won't you? Terrible days.
Last 2 months have been really bad with it.
Go forward, you know. I just want to mention another thing as well, which I found really relaxing me. Sunday afternoons sometimes, 2 to 4, I'll be driving. I'll put the radio on to Paul Goffey.
Right.
On the radio. He's very good at chatting to people. You know, giving people reassurance and playing some great songs. But going on to this thing about what you were saying, you've got to keep moving forward, haven't you? If you have a setback, rest, wait, let it pass, go forward, you know. And
don't push yourself. And people asking me about the bad injuries themselves, and is it already to train after 2? No, it's not already to train after 2 weeks after an operation. You need to listen to the doctors, and the most important thing you've got to listen to is your own body. I'll tell you. Your body tells you. And I think maybe we talked about Richard to this a few months ago. I think maybe every 9-10 weeks you should have at least 1 week off, because you can't keep pushing yourself all the time. And don't go in the gym every week and try and lift the biggest weight, because you burn yourself out. Just do it every 3 or 4 weeks. Go for the biggest weight. The other weeks just go nice and strict, or medium weight, more reps, and just keep changing it as well, because people ask me, how do you get bigger this, get bigger that? So you've got to keep what works for me might not work for you. Everyone's different. We've all got different bodies.
A lot of them are smart in our training, and I know Richard sometimes, I'd say, you listen on your body. You can't say, oh, we train that day. If your body needs a rest, or if your mind needs a rest, you do it. He usually has a 3-week on. And if your body needs a rest, he'll have what they call it unloading week, where you go through the motions.
Still doing it, but just very light,
and then back. And your body knows when to hit it hard or whatever. But then again, people who aren't training, the same in life. If you're feeling a little bit down, don't overdo it. Don't over panic. Don't over stress. Wait till you're feeling better. Then it them challenges.
And when you train as well, don't get in. I've got to train tomorrow. I can't wait to train. My hands are killing me, my back's killing me, so I'm still training every day. Apart from my son today, my wife's just sitting on the telly.
Trying not to be possessed of it,
Well, I've got questions out there. Come on then, guys.
Hello, Emma Cheese, how are you doing? Can you ask the boys what is the dumbest criminal they have ever heard of that made them laugh?
Dumbest criminal? Well, I had one the other week. Tell me to take a lie detector.
Yeah, that's one, yeah.
Tell me to take a lie detector and grass everyone up and get them all 20-year jail for attempted murder on me. That's probably one of the dumbest I've ever heard of.
Yeah. Well, I might be able to tell this story later on, but I won't tell it yet because I'll have a chat with a certain person. Yeah. But I did know of one person who had a cold, proper revolver fired up with the bulletin ready. Yeah. Was willing to kill someone. Yeah. And was allegedly walking behind them to fire it 5 meters away. The lad didn't know he was behind him. Yeah. And trying to fire it and couldn't pull the trigger. So start remembering the cowboy films when he was little and going, and the gun didn't go off, and the lad got away and lived, and the other lad went back to the pub and thought, fucking hell, I don't know how to fire a gun.
Someone said, at your strongest, Brian, what was your top bench, squat and deadlift, and did you ever have to consider not packing on too much size because of sacrificing speed? Yeah, you're right, mate. When I was going for what had happened is, when I was training for the Britain's Strongest Man, I trained with Brian Flaherty, as you know, and you're Sean, you were there and I was training for it. And what they've done the video of me and some of the videos you've seen. So they went down to Sheffield, Baldy Chrissy Atkinson, good lad, really good, strong lad, and little Brian Flaherty's son. Yeah. They went down to there and they were doing when you go for the England, you have to get through the next stages. They were down there and they were doing deadlift. When I was doing 6 plates, I could do 10 reps for 6 plates. When I was doing my deadlift, I could squat 6.5 plates for 20 reps at each end. So what they'd done is they went down there and I was on my bench and stuff. And when I went down there, they were videoing the camcorder, and the video of this lad called Stumpy, really strong lad from down that way. And they said, can we see one of, because I said, get him on the farm's walks. And that's the lads how we do it. So there was Jamie Barr there, another top, and another one from Scotland, another top, really strong lads. Yeah. Jamie Reeves was the main one, who was the world's strongest man. So anyway, they went over and he said, come here, this lad, he's done 10 reps to this weight. He said, that's like close to the British record, that. And you all go, well, look at the size of him and all this. So what happened, Jamie Reeves then phoned me. Jamie Reeves wanted me to go into the Britain's Strongest Man without even competing for it, just because of the lifts to see me doing
advice and train you up,
and he sent me a letter out and everything. Anyway, I squatted 803 pounds quite a few times. I tried to do 9 with Michael, and I got stuck there and being touched down, wrenched my knee. So I blew it out of the water, and then I went back on the bloody drugs because of it, because I was devastated. But I was up there 23 stone 10 pound, but my best fight weight was 20 stone 10 pound. When I was at 23.10, I was like, good if I got hold of someone. I'd stand it off. I wasn't. But on the Damp McIntyre, when you hear me jumping about, I was about 20 stone on that.
Yeah, I'd say about 20 stone. Yeah. I can remember seeing you once, and you hadn't seen you for a while, and it's not normally you'd wear whatever, and I'd seen you in a nightclub. You asked me to go and see you, and I went to see you. Yeah. And you had a leather jacket on. I think it was made to measure, and you dropped a little bit of weight, but looked really. You just looked everything big. But as I say, it's not so much if you power weight on it will slow you down. It might a bit, but you've got these fast twitch fibers anyway, and I think to a certain extent you're born with that quick reaction speed. You know,
you can't. John Black said that you can't really. You can enhance it a little bit. Yeah. But if you can't, it's fast twitch fibers. Yeah. And do you know what gives you the fast twitch fibers? You won't believe in a million years. They all used to say if you train heavy, that fast twitch fibers slows you down. All the old school in Rocky, they make weights are no good. But even Mike Tyson thought that with his trainer. He was saying, they're no good weights, because Frank Bruno was lifting weights before loads of them. And Tyson in the end said, it's better to lift the weights, you get stronger, because it makes you faster. And when you're getting older, it helps you hold onto the muscle because it produces the fast twitch fibers.
Especially if you're not like muscle bound, as in such where sometimes you get like Joshua might be overly muscle.
I think so.
Where someone who's training and they're a big person, strong and powerful like you, they might benefit more than he would trying to pump himself up, yourself up.
And what happened?
You're talking different than pumping yourself up, aren't you, than training heavy.
Well, what is like, Kevin, the more muscle you've got, the more oxygen you use.
Yeah, of course.
So that's why Joshua starts blowing the 6th round all the time. He's just too muscular. Brilliant physiques and all that, but physiques don't make you win boxing. Tyson Fury's physique is nowhere near as good as his, but he's 10 times a better boxer.
And some of them tend to be able to ride through them rounds, don't they? You look at Chisora and Dylan White and
they're just more fit. Look at Muhammad Ali, he wasn't massively he was 15.5 stone.
Yeah.
He could dance 10, 12 rounds, and we still dancing at the end, skipping money was really good, but it's not always about the size. It's in boxing's different, but in the street, the biggest guy wins who goes on the floor. The strongest guy wins on the floor.
And you get a lot of these people learning not to panic when someone grabs the hold you or someone itching you get in a flash. Not panicking is a big thing, because sometimes if you get a cut or what I can remember getting a bad cut above my eye once, and it looked bad, but it didn't bother me at all. No. Just spared me on. In fact, it relaxed me, to be honest with you. But yeah, some people, I'll tell you a little bit of a story. It's about a friend of mine. Anyone who's into athletics will know this local lad, 3 times Olympian Chris Tomlinson. He's a really good friend of mine. And he was telling us a story about when he was training for the Olympics a few years back, and he went to London. He was training at the athletics track. And he was in an area of London where the big black population, and you get quite a lot of people going to the track and trying to do a bit of running. Anyway, as Chris was doing these runs, he's a very fast runner as well, you know, you have to be the long jump. And as he was doing these runs, he seen in the distance a black lad just jogging on the spot, warmed up. Pretty big, he thought looked a little bit slightly chubby, not, you know, but. And anyway, the lad kept looking over at him all the time. And Chris was doing some hurdle power jumps. And the lad come over to him and he says, what do you do? And he said, I do a long jump. He said, what are you running for? Then he said, well, I run to get my speed up. So he said, are you running now? And Chris said, yeah, I'm going to do 400 reps. So 400 meter, 400 meter, 400 meter. He said, do you mind if I join in with you? And Chris said, it's hard, you know. He said, I'll be able to do that. I can sprint 400 metres. So he got on, he went on his marks with him and ran off. After 5 to 10 metres, this black lad hit the deck and went, and he said, what are you doing after that? He said, I'm doing hurdle jumps. And they weren't that high, but they only go in the squat position and jump over.
Kill your knees.
But they weren't that high. So anyway, this black lad said, can I do some jumps with you? And he says, yeah. He said, of course you can. Chris is jumping over them, very powerful. The black lad tries to jump over them, hits him and falls on his face, on his ass. He says, fuck that. He said, I'm sticking to my sport. He said, I'm not doing anything like that. He said, what do you do? He said, I'm a boxer. He said, what's your name? He said, Derek Chisora. Derek Chisora, Derek Chisora, yeah. And as you say, even Derek Chisora can ride through them rounds to do 10 rounds, you know.
Well, I heard your thingies in that, your footballers.
Lee, and Lee was very fit.
And Lee Matthews played for, was it Leeds?
Leeds he played for Lee,
I think he scored and you went for a cup or something.
Yeah, Lee.
And they came on and they came to the gym at Michael's. I can't remember the name of that gym. What's it called? Was it Bridges?
It was called Yarm Fitness World.
Bridges, the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went in there and we were on the park. We were on there. There's a few of us fight, I think, that come down to see us a few times. Anyway, we went up on the back downstairs.
It was a good gym, wasn't it, actually?
Yeah, it was. So he goes on the back. Minute round on the bag, minute press up, minute on the bag, minute sit-ups, minute on the bag, threw up, and then the other one got a knee, threw up, and went, professional footballers. But obviously they'd leave you for dead on there, but it's a different change.
With them
a different and I went on and did a 10-minute run. Like, how can you be that big and that fast and move that quick? I said, just
I think Lee started doing a little bit of training back with Sean, you know, Mike's brother Sean. Because Sean's very fit at the moment. Yeah, he's 63, I think he's now, and he's training.
That was all his Terry did. That was all his Terry.
He said he's stuck in a hard place at the moment as he has heart failure, and he told me to ask my doc, and I did ask him, and I've copied the lifting of the 14 beans in the back, and some of my arm muscle has come back. Please thank him.
How old is he, Emma?
So much. It means so much. How old are you, Stu? And then somebody's asked.
Somebody laughed at me because I got a mop, a brush shank. People have got nothing, like in Hartington Road, and people live on their own with nothing. 4 tins of beans, or Tesco, and 4 tins of beans. Put them on with a bit of tape. Put them on, and it still weighs. And if you're doing 50 reps, you know, people going, how the mighty have fallen. The idiot from Stokes, like
47.
He said, it's the hard gig. You're a weight jet, mate. You'll still get it back.
Is he overweight or
Are you overweight?
Because what is good, I know a little bit of, well, quite a bit about cardiology, but if he's got heart failure and that, he should have maybe a build-up of water. He'd probably be taking water tablets to take it away. But on the positive side of it, he can use exercise bands.
It's inherited.
It's inherited, yeah. He can use exercise bands and that. And a very good friend of mine, well, do you know folk John?
Yeah.
His brother Roy, Thornby, he's had heart failure for 20 years now, and he's okay. I see he's doing all right. Gets breathless and that. But
I still think you still need to do a little bit of training. Don't go mental, just do a little bit. But like you said, the elastic training bands are brilliant. If you go on my YouTube channel, you'll see there where I'm showing people to start off, and you go from basic to advanced. But loads of people.
He was 15 stone when he had it, and he's now 21.
Yeah, that's what
try and do a little bit of walk where you're getting mildly out of breath, where you're not overstressing yourself as well.
You can walk up the stairs, isn't it?
You can walk up the stairs,
2-3 steps.
Make sure you have plenty of hydration and plenty of electrolytes as well, because electrolytes are very important for your heart and that, bananas, minerals.
You can actually get, I think what's really good if you're feeling that, that's the Aerolight's brilliant.
Oh, it's excellent.
It's unbelievable. If you take one go of that, you have it a couple of times a week.
Excellent.
And I tell you what's really good, my wife gets is them antibiotic.
Probiotics.
Sorry, the like that. I was on that bad stomach for a few months. She's got me them.
The Diarylites. Well, the British athletes get prescribed them in odd conditions. The Diarylites as well are very good for. Not that I'm telling everyone to get hangovers, for hangovers as well.
Yeah, we've got 2 more questions. Right, did you, Brian? I have a silly little bar with bottles of water, and I do 21s, like you're saying. I'm doing great, brother.
Oh, that's fantastic, mate. Great. You can go up to 30s, you can do 30 if you want to. If you just slow the ride down and go stop it there, go 1, 2, 3, then come up 1, 2, 3, then come all the way back down. That's another way of doing it. Gives you a little bit more bite, because obviously the weight's light. So if you do it slower and take your time with it.
Someone's asked, did you and Lee ever do any taxing in Darlington?
I taxed a few cars over there. Took a few cars of lads over. We went over a few times, me, Lee and Craig Howard. But I took a few cars off a couple of lads over there. I had a fight at the nightclub. The nightclub, it was down. You went in downstairs. You had to walk up the stairs, and the doorman tried to stop me going in. It was full doorman, and the door knocked all four.
Was it right in the centre? That was
right in the centre. Yeah, me and Craig Howard. Really cheeky, right? Really cheeky. And banged all 4 of them.
I used to know a couple of lads over Darlington. Vic Tucker, I knew Vic. Did you know Vic?
Yeah, Vic. Yeah, good lad, Vic.
Really nice lad. His son's doing really well boxing now,
Yeah, good lad.
Yeah, a lightish weight, but there was another lad who worked on the door with me from Darlington called Glenn, a black lad at Bentley's. He was good. And the other Darlington lad I knew very, very well, who worked on the door with me at Harvey's on Bridge Road, Stockton, was Andy Winder, the lad who...
I knew. I was actually, when I was 20-year-old, 19-year-old, I think I was, 19, 20. Me and George Fawcett, who was Mr. Britain, Rebecca, good lad George, helped us to get in the shape and competed.
One of the very
best in the
top bodybuilders around.
Yeah, he knew his stuff, and their Barry was even better. He was brilliant.
He
was in Mr. Universe, brilliant. So he started his job there. My mate's called Andy Ryan. I thought it was a job on the door. So I got this money together and I flew to Tenerife. I got there at 3 o'clock in the morning. I got to the place, Los Cristianos, it was called. I went there, and he was a big lad. And he used to spar with Nigel Benn. I've never seen Nigel Benn there though, but he was out there when he used to spar with Nigel Benn, because Nigel Benn would go out there for the with the volcano, so he hired up, so he come back down altitude training. And he used to train out there, but he got killed, he got shot over the other farmer thing. It was a big massive. They wanted me. I was sat myself. Have you ever been to such a judge, Bougainville player? And would you go here? Would you'll get a ticket and you have to come out with those crap to try and sell these timeshares. They were all a big con. Big con, £380 million with
there's a lot of timeshares made on and wonder. But
I couldn't sell one because I couldn't talk then.
He was a tough lad, Andy, and apparently the lads who were with him were friends. I'm not sure what the fallout was for, but one of them actually jumped over the balcony to get away from him, because the lads who were charged with it, to be honest with you, Andy was a tougher lad than them. He was. But the other lads were good, nice lads as well.
Actually, lads being off America, he stopped him getting. They pushed him and he fell back, and the gun went off and he fell in the bath and he got killed. But over Spain, you're guilty until you're proven innocent. So he was, I think my mate ended up, Charlie, my mate from America,
He went hunger strike.
He went on hunger strike and he lost loads of weight, but he got out of jail and good lad. We all see him over Wrexham, over that way.
Yeah, Andy always came across with me when I first knew him, like always smiling at. He always used to wear a baseball cap because we were allowed to wear whatever at Harvey's, Dave Noble. He always come across as like a Yankee lad, you know, like
he was in all that type of thing, you know. Surfboard and big motorbike. But he wanted me to go there and fight a lad out there. I can't say his name because big massive gangster. I got 20 grand they want to give me. And before I got on the plane, a couple of hours before, I got a phone call for the lads from Hartlepool saying, big firm from London have just phoned said, you got on that plane, you're not coming back, and they're waiting for you, they're going to shoot you.
Rather than fight you.
He's not going to fight you. There's no way in the world. But you won't get off the island.
Because out of fear, people will kill, won't they? You know, when you think of it, I was about
26 or something.
Yeah.
25.
Because I reckon Andy was.
27, sorry.
Andy and the lads then.
But he had a big lad with him, I can't remember his name, blondie shared lad, about 18, 19 stone. He was a good lad there. He was out there with his girlfriend, she was a model. He modelled his clothes and all that, the both of them, but he started doing the timeshare. He made a lot of money, but it was stupid what they were arguing on. It was stupid because. I
mean, they were making sometimes about $4 a week, 20 odd years ago, weren't they?
Yeah, they were making a fortune.
Yeah.
Sometimes $1 a day. I
mean, it's sad, you know, someone gets killed and, you know, usually the other one ends up in prison, you know. Yeah, it's sad that.
Yeah. So, is there any more questions?
Yeah, there is. Hold on. 2 seconds. Right.
I'd just like to say thank you to Simon today who bought the book from Darlington. So thanks for coming over, son.
Yeah. Right, okay. Do you review know any stories about the late Joe Peel or maybe Tommy Dunwoody and Jimmy Hunter from Whitley Bay?
Not myself.
No, I do not know.
I've not really.
I vaguely knew. I've spoke to Jones a few times.
Jones, a friend of mine. Yeah, very good friend.
James Bryan said, "Did Lee ever go over to Hartlepool and Rob Bryan keep up the good work?" I think he got a tattoo there, didn't he?
No, he went over there when he was a kid, got a tattoo, but he never went drinking over there or anything because I lived over there. I never seen him over there. I never seen him out at any nightclubs or anything.
Our friend Tom from Catrick's on sale. No, it's a lovely lad.
Hello, Tom. You're all right, mate. He's a good lad from Catrick. He's not an army lad, but he's a good lad, isn't he?
Yeah, he's lovely.
Yeah.
I
think he went to Seatonley a few times, but I never seen him.
Yeah.
I never went over there with him anyway. I never went to Hartlepool with him.
He tended to get led about the town a lot, didn't he?
Mainly Middlesbrough.
You know, and
mainly Middlesbrough. He went to Redcar a few times. It wasn't a lot.
Simon said it was his pleasure, so it was.
You're
welcome anytime, Simon.
I'd just like to say thanks to Simon Ambler who's been helping me through today. I've had a bit of a bad day today.
Simon,
I don't want to help my other mate, Simon Ambler, who's from Wakefield. Just to say thank you for him as well.
Going back to chatting about food, Bride, because I think another one we can do when this lad was on about heart failure is about medication and illnesses, and shortly maybe it's after the operation. But there's lots of things for treatment and preventative of that. One good thing with my medical interests, one of the things I was privileged to do was to go to a 5-hour seminar with this Dr. Gil Lederman who trained George Harrison. And then afterwards we sat down, had a meal with him and a chat, and we're picking his brains for a long time. And he's the best cancer specialist in the world. If you were to go to this, it'd cost you £2,000 to go to the seminar. I went because I knew Lenny Kirk, who was my best friend at the time. And obviously I started asking Pokemon nose and questions. And in later programs, I'll tell you some certain things he did say. But a couple of things he said which are good for preventative of cancer were basic things, what he said actually. And he said to add he said to eat a little bit of what you want, don't go over the top worrying, but add plenty of green vegetables in, rices, pulses, and coloured fruits and what have you. He said, and also he said a very good nutritious meal is what you call your Sunday roast. Take away the Yorkshire pudding. He said, if you have a look at it, you've got, you know. And he also said another thing that's excellent for cancer and preventing it is lipocene, which is found in tomatoes. And he said, if you can't stand tomatoes, this is what he said, put a really good but look at the ingredients, and it might be the cheaper one. You use plenty of tomato sauce.
I did it.
Yeah, did you?
I always have tomato sauce.
But there's another thing. Most people, I think it's like 28% of people. I think it's something crazy that who've died of the COVID haven't had any vitamin D in the body. Older people, vitamin B12 is really good for older people because it helps to give you hemoglobin, which is your blood, gives you oxygen, gives you more energy, and all vitamin B. Anyone suffering from nerve damage, vitamin B is really good for your nerves. Vitamin C for repairing muscle tissue. Keeps you. The only thing with vitamin C though, you have to take it 2 or 3 times a day because you can't start your body
just absorb it.
So you've got to take this rubbish about the big H&B, big health shops. Charging you £20 for 1,000 milligrams. It's rubbish. You're better off just getting the 200 milligram ones out of home bag or Aldi's.
You're right.
Just as good.
Taking it regular more often.
3 times a day, and you're spot on with it. But the only thing with vitamin C I've noticed, I took it for years, but I come up for a couple of months and I got a cold. So it does build that immune system, and it does help repair muscle tissue. Someone was asking me yesterday about what does DOMS mean. DOMS stands for delayed onset muscle soreness. It's when you've trained on the weights. Most people, it's not the first day after training. It's like 48 hours later, and it's what you do. People just think it was lactic acid. It's not doing that. What happens is the muscle has little microscopic tears all over it, and it starts repairing itself, and that's when the pain comes from. I'll tell you what's really good.
As a delayed onset of it, doesn't it? So it doesn't happen immediately.
Exactly. So when it starts repairing itself, you need protein repair itself. You need the carbohydrates as well. But I think the amino acids are brilliant. I take 5 before, and I take 5 at night time. I get the next day and the pain's hardly there. And you can do them. Don't have to take them every time, maybe not on chest, but when you're doing big back, big deadlifts and things like that, and when you're doing big legs, I would take them definitely on them days because they do help recover. I'd maybe a creatine before, but creatine is, they tell you to take it, creatine 5 milligrams 5 times a day, but that's rubbish. That's just what they're telling you. If you take it 5 grams a day for 21 days, at the end of 21 days, 5 times a day for 10 days, you still have the same amount in. And no matter how much water you pour in that glass, when it's full, it's full. So the receptor sites are full. So it's a bit of a marketing con. And somebody asked me yesterday about fillers. Are they any good? They're on about fillers, not for your face. Fillers for like, the ones in weight gainers, they're not good at all because they're just full of maltodextrose and absolute sugar and rubbish. Just look on the thing for protein. And then what's the best thing about it? Eggs, milk, they're the best amino acids in the world. So they've
proper
got every
fat milk,
proper food is better for you than any. I'd rather have 10 eggs, like Rihanna said, than have protein drinks. You can't afford them. Just have to eat food, good food, eat 4 or 5 good meals a day, eat every 3 hours or something. Keep your carbohydrates down, keep your protein high, and maybe your fat a little bit of fat. You still need a bit of fat. You get these people going on this keto that I don't like it, mate. No. They make themselves ill. A lot of people have died on it.
The Dyson with the health, aren't they, but as the eggs are the only food that's got every single amino acid in them.
And they tell you that they're not good for you, but 3 a day is perfect.
And the yolks as well are good for you. Don't let anyone say they're not,
Yeah, good for you. If you take it 20, obviously it's different. They've got, like Kevin said, they've got every amino acid what you need. I think it's 20, it says it's 20 to 21 amino acids on there, so they put everything in them. Milk and eggs are the best too.
And you can get some great milk still, I think there's one called Graham's milk, and the Jersey milk, you can get it and it's still got the cream on the top,
I still can't work it out, mate, how the cows eat green grass and the milk's white.
I know,
Simon said it's protein powder bad for you.
Protein powder bad? No, unless you've got, some people got lactose intolerance, they can't take it. Intolerance, they can't take it. So what I would suggest you do, instead of taking the full amount what they tell you to take, maybe take a quarter of it and build up really slowly on it. But don't take it with milk, take it with water, because if you take it with milk, it takes too long to digest. So take it an hour and a half before you train, it's in your system, and then straight after training again, you take it again, and then you get the double whammy. But you need to take it within a window of 2 hours after training.
Straight after.
If you don't take it straight away, then the body won't digest it. But if you take it with milk, it's no good. It takes too long to digest. Another little secret I've told you there.
And another thing about protein, Bri, you see the people in the gyms where they used to blend it and they'd give them a full pint of it. It doesn't necessarily have to be in a full pint. And another thing that's important, if you've ever seen anyone who has it and they blend it and it's frothy and they'll drink it, I think it's best to let it settle. Because some bubbles can create a lot of wind.
That's it. You're spot on, Kevin.
Not
have my husband have that. He's always passing windows
Yeah,
now.
but
And that's
even
what
the
it is.
digestion of
Yeah.
it
You're
blows
right.
your chest, and that
It does.
can cause esophageal pain and that, you know,
Yeah.
Yeah, and also oily fish is good, you know, mackerels, stuff like that.
Salmon, I like that. Like salmon,
Sardines.
Sardine, beautiful. On toast, don't late on the night when you're hungry.
Excellent.
Have the toast. Only have like maybe one because obviously can't buy it. But have mackerel, like Kevin said, or sardines, just add calories in it, full of protein. Or even if you a bit of peanut butter is really good.
Yeah, peanut
really,
butter,
really good for energy as well.
Yeah.
For training, it's really good. But it's not the worst thing in the world is for you. White bread, pasta, white pasta, all. If you get brown, you're totally different. But there's too many calories in it. And what they do, they put a blend in the white flour now. Years ago, like 100 years ago, it was okay. But what they do, they put a blend in it now. It's like a bleach, and it makes it stay longer, 3 days on the shelf. But what it does, it kills all the vitamins and minerals and everything in the bread.
Yeah.
So you're better off with that. I like that seeded bread for me never get. You know that? I only have 3 slices of bread a day.
Have you ever took before? I know early days it was good, and I used to think it was good, but I've never had it for a while. It was kelp and alfalfa. Can you remember it?
I can remember. I took kelp tablets, but I never took the.
Because they increased your metabolism.
Yeah.
But obviously, kelp's a good source of seaweed.
Yeah.
Now, from the cash and carry, have you ever had the crispy seaweed?
No, never.
It's lovely.
No, I love crispy seaweed. Out the Chinese, love it.
Listen, you get down St. Crew Beach and get out there.
It.
You can get it from Batley's.
I absolutely love it.
It's really nice.
I love it. I can eat loads of it.
Well, there's loads at St. Crew Beach.
One of my favourite things.
Yeah, there's loads in there. And that's the smell you can smell, or part of the smell you can smell. I can see,
you can smell the salty as well, can't you?
But the other thing, did you ever use any of that, Brian? The liquid liver, did you ever use that?
Yeah, I tell you what, I used
it was bad with your mouth taste.
I used to use a thing called desiccated liver tablets. They were out years ago. I don't know if they worked or not, but it's a placebo, and you take them and you'd be a bit hard to digest, weren't they? But there was no protein. Just when I was 13 and started training, everything was a portion of protein. It was all American mainly people that is.
Everything,
and it was really expensive. I used to look at the magazines because I wasn't that clever reading then. And we used to be like Arnold was always on there. Remember the 2 brothers, the Barbarians. And then there was Roy and what they call him now, the one Mike Mensa.
His
brother.
What was his name?
Was it Rory? Mike Mensa.
Mike Mensa. They were rich awesome. As doctors, weren't they? I'm not sure where one of them was.
18-inch forearms. Yeah, that Mike Mensa, monster of a man.
Some of them were really good.
I think it was Rory Mensa. I'm sure it was meant that.
Yeah.
They were both like twins, weren't they?
Very
twins. Oh, awesome.
Some great old bodybuilders, Casey Bryant.
He was great.
Someone just mentioned.
Remember him?
What
do you call him? There's a song. I can't remember his name now. He used to come on to the song. Mikey Quinn.
Oh,
yeah.
Quinn,
you remember him, the little waist? Brian Buchanan.
Brian,
26-inch waist.
Excellent.
Oh, brilliant. Vince Brown, he was a good friend.
Vince Brown,
he was a great lad.
He came up with Craig Howard, didn't he?
Yeah, he did, I think
and Eugene Laviscount. I remember when the three of them won the Britain.
Yeah, Eugene Laviscount.
First, second, third.
And then it was Basil Francis.
Yeah.
He was great.
And Don Williams got them on, actually.
Yeah, he did,
got them on.
Oh, do you know L71, who's father and son who was doing your busy videos, and you said happy birthday to his last week on. He's Barbara dad one passed away. Many thanks for the videos, exercising. We both did them, father and son. So
I remember
fell down the stairs.
Oh, that's horrible. You need to contact me, so just phone me anytime, mate. That's terrible. He always can comment for lovely lads. I can't believe it.
Yeah, it was last week
before. Well, I was on the thing the other day, telling him about the training Pigeon for a couple of months. We've been contacting us. Terrible. This shows you doing it.
Very sad. Yeah.
We just had another kid whose dad just passed away all the day over. So it's just terrible. You don't know what to say to people.
So sad that.
No, you can't.
I know one thing is for sure. His dad wouldn't want him to be down, would he?
Yeah, that's
a great guy. Wouldn't want him to be up.
You both said happy birthday to him last week.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. I think the main fear about people when they do pass by is anyone who is, is you don't want the people you leave behind to be hurting you. No. I know one lad who it's commendable, but he goes to his dad's grave every day.
It's probably true. I think it's obsessive, isn't it?
I would.
Because your dad wouldn't want you to do that.
I'd want them to come when they fancied it, you know, like when you feel like it. I wouldn't want them to think they have to come and see me, you know, like, no, you know.
Is 3 protein shakes a day too much?
No, it's not. It depends. What
depends
size
how you ingest them, doesn't it? No, it's not, no.
If you can digest them and you're all right with them, no problem. But you can't just eat protein drinks. You must have meals as well. You can't just think I have protein powder because it's not going to work like that.
Yeah,
you need meals are more important. Maybe having 3 meals and 2 protein drinks.
Yeah.
You have 4 meals and 1 protein drink. But,
definitely have plenty of eggs and good meats.
Definitely.
And fish
when I trained when I was young, I ate 20 to 30 eggs a day. When I was young, because you can, I had them 3 times a day. I was having a loaf of bread a day. I was eating everything you could eat, and kebabs and everything. Because when you're young, you can't.
Yeah.
My metabolism was fast.
You were using up a lot of energy because of the amount of strength, the weight you were lifting.
It's so lovely. All the people are like saying,
I know, it's just horrible.
Nice things to that lad.
I know. But it's, we'll think about that after this tonight, and hopefully the lad will talk to you, Brian.
Of course I will talk to you.
You were just talking about Wenny, and I remember you saying about the
They did exercises together.
They were saying this, following your routine, Brian. We're doing really well. Thank you very much. I just text them back, and
that just might be for me. And
I
know rush like it for this. It's not the police anyway.
But
no, it's very sad that, I mean.
Yeah, it is, mate.
Yeah, he's passed and he's still watching the programme.
Yeah, of course he is. He's here with us now.
You can find some comfort from
he said that his dad did father and son exercises.
Well, keep the exercises up, and if you need help, just
keep them up.
We've left your number there, so get in touch with us, and thank you for all the lovely people that are giving him nice comments.
Yes, thank you for all that.
And we send him a few things, Brian. I'll send him a few things off Richard to inspire him.
I've got a few things here for you as well. So
I tell you what's lovely, it's like a family on the
comments. And that's why it says it's good.
That's why we all
everyone there's friends. You're always going to get the haters, so what that can be, but we're all friends.
Yeah, we're all.
It's not the length of time you've known someone for how close you are.
That's right. Somebody said to me, you only known Duffy 3 or 4 months.
That doesn't
matter. I did know 3 or 4 months. I was with him every day, nearly.
Yeah.
And the thing is,
it's the bond, the closeness, the loyalty, the honour, the trust.
You said, I love how close this community is.
Yeah,
it's brilliant.
It is as well, and that's what matters.
That's what in this world, there's not enough love, and there's not enough people. People have to speak out when they're feeling down and depressed, and we're always here for you if you need help, anyone. And it's don't be ashamed of it, because I've had it, and lots of people have depression. And the worst thing you can do is to say, several years ago, Kevin, I'm not mentally we're mentally ill, or got mental health.
And the way it's always been here.
Yeah, of course the way. But the thing is, I say this and I say it all the time, if you cut your face, you can't get stitches. If you break your arm or your leg, you get a pot. But when your head goes, you've got to get medication to balance it out, because it's just an imbalance of chemicals in your brain. You take the medication off the doctor after so long, you get the right combination, boom, your life's perfect.
I personally think, and it's through experiences, and I know of a couple of people in particular, maybe it's 1 or 2 people. I mean, we all have friends, and if someone has a problem and it's a mental health problem, or they might have a genuine illness, there's nothing worse than this when you're with someone and you're looking for someone to confide in. It might not be your partner, it might be a friend, and all of a sudden you start to tell them something that you're scared
anyone.
And
you're right.
All of a sudden they wash that aside. They talk about another subject because you might say, I'm feeling it, and they ignore it. A good friend will genuinely listen to your problems, your health problems, with proper concern.
I've noticed with people who have suffered from mental health, they won't say no to the parents or the family, but they'll speak to me. I know exactly where they're going for, and I can tell them what this is happening. I spoke to a kid on the phone about 6 months ago. Emma was there for 10 minutes, one of Bensley's friends. He said, I've learned more off you in 10 minutes than ever for psychiatrists going there for 6 years. He said, I said, because I'm talking them like street words, not like these big massive words that they can't understand. So it's coming out with terminology of words that people can't understand. You've got to talk to the person you're talking to. You've got to go down to their level or go up their level, and that's how you've got to communicate. You can't, just come out with all these stuff, big words, because people can't understand what you're talking about.
Quite a few years ago, Brian, I had some certain problems, not physical problems, things that I'd been through in my life. And the doctor, and I would never tell anyone at the time, but the doctor referred me to a bloke called Matt in Stockton. He was a high intensity psychiatrist, very top one. And I used to go and see him, we were chatting, he got me to open out about a bit of things. And I started telling him some weird things that I'd had. And I said to him, when I was a kid, I was scared of things. And to conquer that fear, I used to, when I was 7 or 8, go missing on a dark night and walk into the middle of Linthorpe Cemetery, which was pitch black, and scare myself. I used to try and get myself scared
Confront your fear.
and to confront me fear, and everyone thought I was round the bend. But I told him a few of my thoughts, and after a few weeks, he went on the fucking sick. I'd made him bad. He started having panic attacks himself while I was there, you know. I haven't seen him
I always
since.
say that, confront your fears, you know. I don't like heights as much, but
the only thing you're scared of is the fear
itself.
That incident usually doesn't happen.
I think there used to be a book out called Feel the Feeling,
anyway,
Dr. Susan Jeffers or something, wasn't it?
Susan Jeffers, and it was Claire Weeks before that, you know, self-help for your nerves.
And then it was Steve Norton.
I think I've read many a book because of my interest in medicine. Feel the Feeling, Do It Anyway, you know, your phobias, hyperventilation syndrome, which is a good book. But I'm not only saying it because we know him, but I think Steve Norton practically is really
the best.
good.
Put it this way, he's the best athletes, did he?
And I think shortly he's written a book, but I think shortly he'll end up doing or advising a lot of things on youths and child anxiety and phobias, because I personally think because of this COVID carry on now, some of these kids, depending how their parents are putting it to them, are frightened to death, and they'll be frightened to go near someone who hasn't got a mask on. Not all of them. Give your kids something positive. There's nothing to fear in life.
Like me, I don't. People get depressed. I said the worst thing I think you can do to make yourself depressed is watch films about people getting killed. Watch the news. The news is just full of lies and full of evil.
But that's just put into perspective. That was too short with that L71 just last week.
You've just got to get on. If you fell out with someone who's a family member, get back round there and go and see them and just say you're sorry. That's all it is. Stop being stubborn going, I'm not saying sorry to him because if it's not over the top, get down there and just say you're sorry. Or if there's a neighbour you're arguing, just say, look, can we sort this out and shake hands and stop arguing, just try and help each other. I'm telling you now, he'll feel better and you'll feel better when you shake hands. It's all over.
Another little thing, I mean, probably all of us in our past have had a little bit of jealousy about something. I don't have it now, I'll be honest with you. Now I don't. And there might have been times years ago you've thought, well, someone's coming to some money, they've won a lot, and you think, doesn't matter who they have, the enemy, and they win multi-millions. The only thing that'll bother you is your thoughts.
Of course it is.
It doesn't matter. Your life's precious for you, for your friends.
Stop thinking bad thoughts. Forget about the past. Forget about tomorrow. Just live for the here and now. Look what we're doing now. We're all happy. We're all laughing and joking. We're all fun. I know the kid's just lost his father there, L71, but he wanted you to laugh and joke because that's the type of guy he was. I know. So just by top, just on the text, you're not a good kid as well. So you know it's horrible what's happened, but he wanted you to just keep training.
What area is he from?
L71. Where are you from? Is it Liverpool? Is that no? Because I can't. Liverpool is about L71. Where you from? L71. Where are you from?
It's really sad. That.
It's so sad, isn't it? Because remember we said happy birthday to the son last week, and he said, "Oh, it's my dad's birthday."
Yeah. Well, we've got Guy on next week. He has that PTSD.
Oh, he's answered.
It's
bizarre because my favourite memories of me and my dad are doing exercises to drive videos, and it made us close.
Brilliant. It's brilliant, that.
At least
you've got that close time.
I'm glad you got that, mate, because obviously
memories.
That's why I always answer everyone on my thing.
Manchester he's from.
I always answer people, you know, because if they have the decency to ask me a question, I always have the kid the other night asked me, you know, I was on it for ages, but I was on one for an hour and 10 minutes, putting the routine on. I thought I wrote the full routine out for a week, just back by trying to write it all out of my hands and knackered. There's still tenacity of me just saying, I've got 4 o'clock in the morning I was doing it to try to help the kid. Just I like to help people, and then you go to bed and you think, that's another help there.
And the other thing, tell them to keep in touch with us all, especially you and
I'm
Brian.
just going to say, can you text us
I'm
your
sure
number?
you'll come into contact
Yeah,
with
we'll
him.
come and see us. Yeah.
Or we go up there and see him. We've
Yeah,
got
that'd be lovely.
plenty of friends at Manchester, haven't we?
Yeah,
It's a great shopping place, Manchester.
Kevin said he's going to get you some stuff off Richard, didn't
Yeah,
you?
he will.
Yeah.
Certainly will. Yeah, some exercise stuff, and I'll give him some good training.
Yeah, because his dad was saying to us,
I've got a poster there as well.
Yeah, got you some posters that here. So just give us a text and we'll ring you after you. But his dad was saying to me the other week on here.
Yeah.
He said it's the first proper time they've been doing stuff together.
I feel
it's
sick of me.
choking, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's horrible.
It's choking.
But I'm glad I was there just for that little bit of time that they had together. It was great because you'll cherish that for the rest of
your life. To visit Manchester and go out your way to it's a lovely place, you know, that Dean Street and all that. You go up Manchester, you've got all the cafes and bars open up and that.
Oh, we could even, if you wanted a little break, we could get them down here.
Of course. You know, stay at our pub, no problem. Meet Richard, come down to the pub, meet Richard,
Yeah, can meet Kevin's son and stuff and meet Brian.
Yeah, my son Richard's was world champion over 60 metres. He's an Olympian track and field athlete, Great Britain team captain, European team captain, you know, and but down here the people are really, really good.
There's more people here talk to you than anywhere else in the country. I think they're always here to help. I think it's your tactic, Kevin. So let you go.
Well, not a big rush. I'll be all right for another 2 weeks. So.
Are you definitely? Someone's asking if you're definitely on next week, Kev.
Well, yeah,
because it's definitely the last one, isn't it? What day is it? Next week.
Next. We can do next Friday or Saturday, can't we?
What date is next week?
Well, Friday. I'll grab Gary Friday, so it'll have to be Saturday morning.
So Saturday, right? So what? Yeah. What date is it?
We could maybe just do a Saturday afternoon.
Oh, for me, you mean? I'll be still doing it for things. Don't worry about that.
Friday's
anyway. If I just what?
22nd.
Well, I'll be doing one day. I'll go to the hospital the 26th. I'll be out one day. You know me. I'll be walking the same day. I'll get the operation in the morning. I'll be out at tea time.
When Bry's out again, there's a good one that we can do on.
There might be Saturday like that when you see me like together,
you know.
You might have given me some WD-40 for me neck.
There's loads and loads and loads of stuff to talk about.
Yeah, there's lots. People are saying it's a bit like Bob Mortar and Rick Reeves or and next I think we'd have been better.
Yeah, we need to get a kilty, like
KB. That sounds good.
Kilty thing and buying one, and then so it's like a show.
Another thing to another thing to that lad L7 is next time we're on when Bri comes out of hospital, I'll tell a little story of grieving that I had, which I'll comfort you, which is something I went through, which not many people have went through actually. But I'll tell you about it later. But it'll be good for anyone listening and that, you know what I mean. I'm glad there's girls and boys listening and that, you know, and I hope we can bring them comfort and hopefully all get together, you know.
Who needs Saturday night TV when we've got you three to watch and listen to?
And don't forget Scrappy, because he's always in the background.
And the other thing, at the moment, you have got a television screen of watching here. Once Brian and them get all this equipment sorted out, we're going to be doing it a lot other places where a lot of them outdoors. And in the background, you'll be able to see lots of other people who we're involved with and shouting people over the chat. So it's become really good.
Documentary people coming on. We've got
really good.
We've got people wanting to do movies. It's gone crazy, hasn't it? It's absolutely.
We might even do one.
Someone said to me, "Well, you won't make a movie with Brian Cockrell because you've been a criminal." I went, "Well, I've only got driving offences on my record, so that's how much you know. I can put my record on there if you want. The police will tell you that if you have to. I've got driving offences. That's all I've been convicted for."
That's all, yeah.
Lots of people in movies have had.
I know. We know who it is. We're not stupid. We know the idiot from Stokes. We're not stupid. But just jealousy, and then because we're going up and up and up, and everyone's coming on from everywhere. Good people, churches are coming on. They want to go to islands and do what is it, like a singing type thing, isn't it? Church, they want us to go over there to go and speak in the church. It's a radio, like a Christian radio thing. So
another thing that'd be good to see the likes of Graham and others, not just Graham.
Yeah, we're talking about
some of these other Christian things. I know there's a lot of people who've come into the country who are not refugees, but whatever, and they have churches. It'd be good to go and talk to
amalgamate
them.
together.
Yeah, it'd be very good.
Because we're all in it. See, when I look at it, people is right. There's one God, and we all pray to Him different. You might be Muslim, you might be Catholic, you might be Protestant, you might be Jewish, but there's still only one God. So there's Kev Kilty here.
Yeah,
I call him my friend.
Yeah,
his daughter calls him dad.
Yeah,
it's mum would call him son.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Your brother would call you brother. You know what I mean. So it's still Kev Kilty. So that's how I value God. That's how God is.
God,
It's
yeah,
one God. We all pray in different ways, and that's what I think it is.
And it's a faith as well, to have faith. And have faith in our friends as well. And
oh, L71, God bless you all, and thank you all so much, everybody.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You too. Yeah,
you too. So the last 5 minutes, Kev.
Yeah, well, just basically considering the viewers, to tell them to, I mean, because it's great for them to give up their Saturday night.
Oh yes, fantastic.
And to watch us chatting about things, which in future we'll have some great visual play. We've got some really nice places to go.
It's only in the house. I mean,
and some really dodgy ones.
Yeah.
Emma, would you just answer that with us? Sorry, just that won't be that long.
That's.
If it's the police, just say you know when they're going to be here.
Hey, Jack.
Yeah, it's a sort of
he's coming out in soon.
He's taxi outside his son Jack.
Right.
Yeah.
He's got his takeaway on the way, Kevin.
Oh, brilliant.
All right, okay. Jack. We'll see. He's coming out soon.
So, right, guys, I'd just like to say thank you again to Kevin.
And sorry for cutting you short, but there's a bit of technical problems there early on. Yeah. And also, anyone, not that you need to, because I'm only an old daft, whatever, doctor, add me on Facebook, welcome to. And if there's any advice I can give,
Kevin's
anytime, any advice.
If anyone I'd ask would be Kevin. He knows through Richard as well. He's they know the score.
The only advice I can give, which is top class advice, is do not go to the hairdressers at Stokesley and get that dodgy haircut. Don't. It's dangerous.
What a mess.
It's a dangerous
what an absolute embarrassment.
I could listen to you all night if it's
on
the TV.
Yeah.
Take care to you.
Yeah, we've had a great night again,
keep in touch afterwards. We were always online. Sometimes I sleep with one eye open. And then the other
I know somebody else does that.
I'm on text till 5 in the morning.
I know somebody else with one eye like that.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks for the great night. God bless you all.
L71, please get in touch with us. Thank you.
I'll do it for you, babes. I'll do it.
Isn't it good that I enjoy that?